Hello everyone, I'm Marcel Gagne and this is Cooking with Linux. And today we're going to talk about software installation. I'm going to show you how easy it is to find packages, software, games, office applications, productivity, whatever it is that you need, and how easy it is to find that stuff and install it under your Linux distribution. And a lot of it is free, free, free! Not just free as in freedom, but free as in beer. And speaking of beer, I'm sitting here with my glass of wine. It's beer, and I'm drinking a Chilean Cono sur Bicicleta. My Chilean is not necessarily fantastic, Pinot Grigio, and I'm having that along, excuse me for a moment. Ah, very nice. I'm having that along with a plate full of pierogies that have just come hot from the kitchen, along with a lovely sour cream, dill and lemon dip. So, without further ado, this is Cooking with Linux. You want ahead.
All right, let's talk software, free software. As it turns out, there's an awful lot of software that you can install on your Linux desktop. And I'm going to show you one of the ways that people do it when they've been doing this for a long time. They'll just do something like this: sudo apt install, and I'll install something called KStars, which is a planetarium program which works under KDE. And it goes out and it finds all the additional packages that need to be installed, because sometimes packages require other packages. So it goes out there and it grabs all those things and it installs them. And often, really, that's all there's to it. And that's all a lot of people do. However, as this is happening in the background, Linux distributions, every distribution from every major, whether vendor or project or whatever, wants to make this as easy on the desktop users as possible. So while we can just sit there and install a package at the command line, and if you know what you're looking for, this is actually a great way to do it. It's quick, it's easy, you just type the command and away you go. Here we go. All right, so let's go back and take a look at KStars. So they're just to prove that it's actually there. So okay, we'll close that window, and now I'm going to go into my command. I'm going to go under Games, and and it is installed. All applications. So let's take a look under KStars. There it is, KStars. It is installed. We can fire up the package, and we will have a really cool planetarium program that we can use. By the way, I love this program. I've actually been using this one for years. Now, every Linux distribution tries to make this easy on you, so they all have their own version of a package manager to help you install. If you're dealing with a Ubuntu-based distribution, or a Debian-based distribution if you prefer, you're going to probably have somewhere in there the Synaptic package manager. Now, this is an administrative thing. All these package managers are administrative tools, so we put in our root password, and now we can take a look at, see the various type of packages that are there. Let's just take a look at amateur radio. Isn't that interesting? Cross-platform packages. And of course, all these things are sitting there listed. We can take a look at things, say, under education, for instance, education in the universe. By the way, universe, multiverse, and so forth. In the Debian-based distributions, Ubuntu-based distributions, these are repositories. And in fact, we refer to where software is available as repositories. In other words, where can we find a particular piece of software? So let's go back to education, universe, and junior education, Debian junior education package. Let's see, Scratch, easy to use programming environment. My kid loves Scratch. Okay, you should check it out. And if you want to see what it looks like, you can click Get Screenshot, and it's going to go down there and get you a screenshot of what the software looks like, so that you can get an idea of what it is that you're installing on your system. All right, cool. And that's how they do it. So if I like this, if I think, hey, Scratch sounds great, I want to install Scratch. Well, at that point, I can just right-click on here. I can say Mark for installation. It's going to tell me what other packages need to actually be in there. And then I'm going to say Apply. And it's going to show me, okay, these are the packages to be installed. If something is on there that's not going to be changed, apply, and away it goes. Now it's showing me what's being downloaded, or how much is being downloaded. If you actually want to see the details, the gory details of being installed, here it is. You click there, and you can see the individual files, or in this case, the individual packages that are being downloaded. There they are. And again, if you want to see the details as these things are being installed, you'll notice that what's happening in the background is what happened at the command line when I showed you how to install KStars. See? It's the same stuff, except that it's happening in the background behind a nice little graphical interface. All right, so we'll let that finish, and I'm going to let that finish mostly because if I don't, I'm going to run into trouble when I try to use another installer to show you how to install software using that. If you've got a distribution like Ubuntu, you may run into the Muon package manager. Again, same sort of idea, just a different way to do things. So let's instead of we did education there. Let's go to graphics for fun here, and let me see. Blender. If we had again, we can take a look at different packages and they're all organized by particular categories, but let's take a look at Blender. Technical details, dependencies, the files that get installed. You'll notice that things are a little bit different than they are in the Synaptic package manager. This is the one that you'll find in Ubuntu. And we can also organize packages based on which repository these things would be found in. Like for instance, this particular distribution that I'm running is based off KDE Neon, and we can take a look at things that are specific to KDE Neon. And then we can mark that package for installation. So let's say that we actually do want KRuler for whatever reason. And at that point, we click Apply Changes. As you can see, this is not all that different from the Synaptic Package Manager. So I'm going to close that one. And then we're going to go to the Ubuntu Software Center. This is what you'll find if you're using the standard Ubuntu distribution. You'll see that little icon sitting over in the left-hand side on the Unity Package Manager. If I were to fire up the Ubuntu virtual machine that I've got running, this is what we would see. So the Ubuntu Software Center is a little bit slicker, a little bit more updated. Our star apps, come and explore our favorites. This actually does give you some ideas of, hey, these are things you might want to install because somebody somewhere has looked at these things and thought they were really cool. Like TuxPaint, for instance. So let's click More Info to get more info on TuxPaint. All right, and it pulls up a screenshot so we can take a look and see what the software looks like. TuxPaint. It's like the old Paint program for Windows, so to speak, except this is a free software implementation. Actually, I've had my kids play with this one. It's actually quite a cool little program. And then you get everybody's little rating on it and why they thought it was a 5-star program. Lots of people really, really like this thing, so I'm going to click the Install button. And we move to installing software. Now, you'll notice that when I brought up the Ubuntu Software Center, it did not ask me for a password. It waited until I had chosen something. So let's put in my password now, and we will start installing the package. So here we go. Got a little bar here that shows me that the package is actually in the process of being installed as we speak. So if I click the back arrow here, and we've got our little waiting thing here to let me know that the package is actually installing. And of course, if you want, you can take a look at this based on what type of package it is, whether you're looking at multimedia packages. And again, you will take a look at them and you'll get some information as to what the package is like, what people think about it. There's our screenshot for that one here for, which one is it? Clementine, a music player. And there are literally thousands of these packages that you can install, and it's just a matter of taking a little tour through it and seeing what happens. Okay, so we have now used the Ubuntu Software Center, Muon, which looks an awful lot like the Synaptic Package Manager. So I'm going to show you something a little tiny bit different this time by firing up my Virtual Machine Manager. And by a little bit different, I mean we're going to go and take a look and see how it's done in Fedora and how it's done in OpenSUSE. So, all right, here we are booted up off our Fedora 24 desktop. And if you take a look over here down the left-hand side, you'll see that there's something that looks like a little bag, and that is our software installer. So we click the software installer. Welcome to software. Let's go shopping. Well, let's go shopping. Most of this is actually going to be free software, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And it gives us the editor's picks, the packages. So let's take a look at GNU Cache, just for fun. And once again, it will give us a description. This is the rating based on people who have installed it and what they thought about it after they installed it. And this is a personal finance manager. If a small business financial accounting system or a personal financial accounting system, tells you the features, how it works, the website, the reviews that have happened on it, what people have to say about it. And if it happens that you like this, then it's just a question of clicking the install button. And now we're being asked for the administrator's password, the super secret password. And now the software installation will proceed on this package. Meanwhile, on my OpenSUSE virtual machine, let's click our green guy down here. And if we go over to a system, and we have something here that says install remove software. That is YAST. YAST, and let me just put in my super secret password here. And YAST is the software installer that you will find on the OpenSUSE system. It's a little bit different than the other ones. Actually, let's face it, they're all a little tiny bit different. But again, it looks into its repositories. It has software organized in particular ways. I'm going to say view by package groups. And there we go. That's going to be a little bit more familiar. And we've got the various desktop types. But let's just take a look at multimedia, for instance. And we have the ones with the check mark, by the way, are going to be packages that we already have installed. So it's showing us packages that are already installed. But let's say that I want to take a look at Banshee. There's a music player called Banshee, a media playback and management application. And it's going to give me some information on that one. Let me just stretch that window out a little bit there so you can see a bit more. Dependencies, versions, the files, file list. Unfortunately, no nice little picture of it. But if we want to install it, we click the accept button, and it runs off, downloads the software, and installs it for us. And here we are back on my regular desktop looking at KStars, the application that we installed a little bit earlier. Image resources, let me see, show HST image, stars in M31. Well, there you go, very, very cool. And let's close that guy. We could save the image if we want. What else have we got available here? Show image resources. Image. There it is, the Andromeda Galaxy, just as we all know and love it. Anyway, that's what it takes. That's all it takes to install software on a Linux desktop. Every distribution is going to do it a little bit differently, but of course, there are always command line tools to do it. If you're new to it, go take a look at your particular package manager, whether it's Synaptic, the Ubuntu Software Center, Muon, Yast, whatever. And look around. There are thousands, literally thousands and thousands of software packages, all free for you to download and install on your system. There are tons of games, tons of multimedia applications, tons of whatever it is you are probably looking for. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for joining me here on Cooking with Linux. This is Marcel Gagne. If you like what I'm doing here, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with other people. You know how it works. Leave a comment, that sort of thing. And we'll see you around next time. À votre santé et bon appétit.